Hey, y'all. This is Frank the Bigfoot, and you're listening to the Paranormal Punchers.
Yeah, top hats to anal probing. That's how we do it around here.
Then they had a flatbread truck.
They had a flatbed truck. It's the tastiest truck on the planet.
Holy moly, there's a Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where's my phone?
Yeah.
It came into my suitcase. I threw it off
did what in a suitcase?
They attribute it to El Vampiro de Mocha, the vampire of Mocha. It was
Vampire of
Chocolate.
of Mocha. Yeah.
That's right. Hey, stop all the beaming.
Stop all the beaming, UFO.
Hashtag stop the beaming.
Oh, man.
Hey, friends. Welcome to Paranormal Punchers. I'm Mark.
I'm Alicia.
I'm Nash.
I'm Dave.
And thank you for joining us on our special holiday episode.
Hey, guys.
Hey, what's up?
Did you hear about this immortal being that lives in the depth of the frozen tundra?
What?
He's got this whole clan of slaves that he uses.
What?
And he builds all these contraptions with his slave labor. And there are people around the world that worship him as a saint.
Dave. You're talking about Santa Claus again.
Maybe.
You know, that's the thing. Like, you think about Santa Claus, the stories. Like, I mean, imagine if it was like some weird
If it was based on
alien,
truth, right?
Yeah.
that came here and somehow lived in the North Pole, brought a bunch of his other alien buddies.
Right.
They
And once a year came down your chimney and
right.
probed you.
He probed you and stalked you in your house while you were sleeping.
They're like, hey, we're going to come down and give you a gift. You don't know that the other gift they gave you.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, there's a tracker that they put somewhere
Yeah.
Christmas Day.
They inserted something,
Right.
you know.
So the story of Santa Claus, you're saying, could be
Oh, I
What if it-
totally
what
think
if
he's
it
a
was-
cryptid of some sort, but yeah.
interesting. If you can't tell, this is our holiday episode. But Dave, you're sending me down a rabbit hole of how to make Santa
I know.
into an alien.
Yeah, pretty much.
And then you have the elves and the reindeer.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things that could totally go wrong in the.
What if Santa's a
wholesome
Yeti?
side.
That explains that big white beard. Maybe he just shaves around the eye holes and.
He's like got the werewolf disease. We got too much hair, but then
Right.
he shaves it down. Mrs. Yeti Claus shaves him because he's a little hairy. She likes it high and tight. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's he putting it? How's he getting down the chimney?
Yeah, that's a
I
good
don't
question.
think a Yeti can get down a chimney.
Well, but
So that theory's out
would
the
the
window.
bag be like a dimensional portal?
Yeah.
It's bigger on the inside,
Like a TARDIS, but it's a bag.
but it's bad.
Doesn't seem like it could withstand the
The shearing force, of time
space. Yeah.
yeah.
Now, if anybody out there listening still thinks Santa's coming tonight, yeah, we're teasing. He's definitely not an alien.
Could be, but maybe
He's
not.
not a demonic force.
No.
If it was the Yeti, that'd be pretty wicked cool.
Yeah.
So what would you, if it was the Yeti, what do you leave out instead of cookies and milk? What do you leave out for a Yeti?
I know.
Like a vodka tonic and a...
Fresh reindeer.
Yeah,
okay.
fresh
Oh, yeah.
reindeer meat. There you go. Maybe that's what happened to all the reindeers when they got too old.
Yeah.
They got sacrificed to the Yeti Claus.
Oh, boy.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure there's some weird old folklore behind Santa Claus that we could explore and probably would get scarier than the things we're saying.
Well,
I
if
mean,
you think
'cause
of
you got... Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, with all the different traditions that all the cultures have, there are so many things to Santa. He's so multifaceted that all those legends come out of what could be, and yeah, I think Krampus comes out of the same
Right.
stories and everything. I mean, there's just we like the good wholesome Santa, but nobody's perfect.
If you are little Boppy's mom or dad, you might want to rewind this and timestamp it. Because Boppy, if I remember correctly, was just a little one.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
8.
Yeah.
she's a
mature age. She's an old age.
So
Okay.
she ain't afraid of no Santa.
Okay. Well.
But I mean, just because we were saying it could be an alien. I mean, how else do you fit down a chimney?
Yeah.
How else do you get around the world in like what 6 hours?
One night.
Yeah.
One night.
Yeah.
Okay, one night's longer than 6 hours. That was pretty bad math. Whatever.
But no, I mean, some sort of a spacecraft would be the best solution for
I
it.
assume shaped like a triangle
Maybe.
because that seems to be the trend.
I'm kind of liking the whole bag as a mini TARDIS kind of thing. That's kind of sticking in my head because he could change shapes and go down into the houses also with it.
His whole sleigh would have to be like a TARDIS, to hold all those toys, and then he shoves whatever he needs in the bag for the houses he jumps at.
Okay.
But to get around the world and all that, yeah. I don't know. I could see a fun little
Because you're accounting for travel time.
I could see him in a comic book meeting up with us.
But if there's no
And
travel time,
Frank
Yeah.
yeah,
and
because he
Chris
would
Kringle kicking it.
maybe he would need minions or helpers to do it. And
Whereas Dave called him slave, but yeah, he's making those elves bang out wooden trains. Or at least that's what I saw in the cartoons. And why wooden trains?
right?
playing with
Who
wooden
really
trains?
plays with wooden trains anymore?
Kids are.
No, I don't
They're
think
playing
so.
with, wow, they're playing
Maybe a
with
little baby.
I don't know. Have you been to a doctor's office and played in the playroom lately?
Yeah.
No, Dave, have you?
Wow, Dave.
It's the best
Do we
part.
need to handle this off air?
You went, your doctor's office has like Thomas the Tank.
Well, not my doctor's office, but
Wait,
Yeah.
where are you going?
wait. Yeah, the only plausible way is at your doctor's office, Dave.
the kid's doctor's office.
Okay.
Your kids.
Yes.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay, I see. Wooden trains.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I like the idea of Santa as a Time Lord. That's the only way you do it, is reduce the travel time.
No.
True.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Going from place to place
Yeah.
directly, as in two portals kind of.
Like being he's
Yeah.
Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like it. Now, you know what I like? You know what I love?
It's a big question mark.
I know. I love getting feedback
No.
from our wonderful, wonderful listeners. As I said before, they're almost like just extra hosts of the show.
They really are.
From all around the
Yeah.
world. They contribute to the show, give us topic ideas. And I do hope when I'm reading this feedback that some of you guys go check out the topic subjects that
Right.
we're all giving each other. So, hey, obviously that means I'm getting some listener feedback brought to you by Living Among Bigfoot,
Yep.
the awesome book series that you can get on Amazon. It's awesome. Comes out the 15th of each month, a new installment.
You're like
Lish loves it.
you're
Yes,
like
I
on
do.
big book 15 or something, aren't you?
No, I started book 5 today, and I have not finished it yet, but it's really good.
Yeah.
That's right. Home of the best reviews. It's always good.
It's always good. Now, are they like novels? Are they like 300-page books? You know, or what are we reading here?
They're much smaller, but I don't know. I think that they're easily manageable.
Yeah.
You get through them. They're just so good that you cannot wait until the next one.
So you kind of tear through it and get to the
Yep.
next one. Oh, nice.
Speaking of terror through it, to get to the next thing,
Break on through the other side.
here comes listener feedback. Brought to you by Living Among Bigfoot. All right, so we heard from our buddy Will. He's our friend now.
Hey, Will.
What?
He's
is, totally
That's a
is.
decision he made right there. He's our friend now.
Of course he is. He said, "Hi, I'm Will. I've been listening to your show for probably a year now and
Wow.
love it. There is no better podcast out there.
Wow.
Also, I want to tell you guys about this road I just learned about. It is known as Zombie Road.
What?
Yeah. The real name of it is Lawler Ford Road. It is supposedly one of the most haunted roads in the world. I actually went there with my buddy, and we walked down at about a quarter mile before we had to leave. And no, we didn't see anything, but it has a crazy history of haunted stuff.
Ooh.
And he gave us a link to go read more about it. I'll post that link in the show notes. But for anybody who is writing anything down, prairieghost.com/zombie zombie_road.html. That website needs to fix some of their URL structure. But hey,
Yeah.
we'll check that out. I mean,
That sounds
that
pretty
sounds
cool.
like
I know.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah.
I love zombies, so
I'm kind of
Well.
curious, like, okay, he had to leave. Was it like it was so scary he had to leave?
Right.
Where the men in black came and like, you need to leave right now.
Right.
Like, why did he have to leave? I'm curious.
Or was it like I got to go to work early tomorrow morning?
Right.
I don't know. I clicked the link.
I prefer that option didn't exist.
Right.
I clicked on the link, and it's well, I looked at the link before, but it's in Missouri.
Okay.
Okay.
Missouri.
Yeah, but it's Zombie Road, the true story of one of Missouri's most haunted places.
wow.
So I'm pretty intrigued about that.
Why, if you went down there, that would be awesome to spend a couple hours doing that. It had to be because he got freaked out. Because you wouldn't do it for like.
What if it was like it was getting late? It was time to go home.
Right.
Maybe the pizza. You need to get some pizza.
Right.
Well,
Why do you
on
assume he was scared?
Because he's on Zombie Road. Yeah. Why wouldn't you like allocate time for that? A couple hours for it to be there. You wouldn't just be like, "Hey, let's go to Zombie Road," and then, "Oh, well, okay, we're here." That's what you do at the Grand Canyon.
Well, Will, I'm not saying you got scared. I assumed you had to.
I think I got terrified.
You had other stuff to do, like get ready
Well, yeah.
for bed because you had work or something.
I still think he got ran off, but by the secret police or something.
Okay.
Oh yeah, the black
You
choppers
can't
showed
go
up.
down here.
Yeah, the silent helicopters showed up.
Yeah.
With red dots, aiming at them.
Matthew
Thanks, Will.
Modine.
Nice.
We also heard from Jake. He said, "Love the podcast. Listen to it all in 3 days."
Oh my gosh. You had to have been like recovering from an operation or something. That's insane.
That's like it. Literally is like
That's
50 hours.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
solid.
No, it's more because some of the episodes ran over. Oh, some of them were a little under an hour. So
True.
about 50 hours in 3 days.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
That goes beyond the normal dosing instructions, but
Yeah.
I'm glad you lived.
Right, exactly.
But he gave us some ideas here. He said we should do Tombstone, Arizona.
Okay. It's
Now-
dusty down there. It's really dusty down there.
He also said also some of the Utah spooky stories. The Capitol Theater, Lily Gray's Tombstone, Kay's Crossing, and Bear Lake Monster. Keep up the good work. Jake, I'm going to tell you right now, Tombstone is like one of my most favorite movies,
Yeah.
period. Because Kurt Russell kicks ass. And so does
Val
Kilmer.
Oh, that's like the best Val Kilmer's ever been, right?
It's a really good drinking movie too.
You're no Huckleberry.
If you, thank you.
No, I'm your Huckleberry.
You're no Huckleberry.
Wow,
I'm your Huckleberry.
No.
this is spinning to some kind of a weird thing over here.
boy. Yeah.
And then he replied again. I think he was he on Twitter? I think he was on Twitter.
I think it was. Yeah.
He's like, I just have to say it. Reptilian overlords and Hollow Earth. Who knew that Super Mario Brothers movie was a documentary?
Good one.
Yep.
That's what happens when you listen to all 50 episodes in 3 days.
That's right, all in one shot.
Thanks, Jake. Greatly appreciate it. And yes, I've heard of Kay's Cross. Very interested. Never heard of the Bear Lake Monster.
No.
You had me at Monster.
Right.
So
You had me at bear.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Whoa. Thanks for the ideas, Jake. Appreciate it. And thanks for listening.
Yep.
See, we heard from Ryan. Hey, guys. Love the podcast. Started listening to it about a week ago, and I've listened to nearly every episode so far.
Wow.
I had a subject you guys might want to look into.
What?
Here, he has a subject we might want to look into.
I thought you said lick.
That you
for a
did say
second.
lick. You said lick into. That's why I was like,
It's our holiday party, so maybe I was in the eggnog.
That's right.
Here in Tennessee, there is the Brushy Mountain State Penitentiary.
Ooh.
It can now be toured, and they also offer a self-guided haunted tour during the fall months.
Ooh, that sounds
I've
self-guided.
been there myself, and definitely got creepy vibes. The place has a very dark past. It held James Earl Ray, and he actually tried to escape from there before being caught. Might be something worth looking into. Thanks again for such a great podcast. Keep up the great work.
Thanks for the.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah,
Thank
totally.
I like the idea of the self-guided tour.
Yeah.
Where we could just be on our own, exploring. That sounds cool.
That
Yeah.
sounds very
Yeah.
cool. Very, very cool.
I mean, 2019 could be a huge paranormal travel
That's right. That's right.
situation.
Yeah.
Why are you laughing?
Chompy. Or chomped.
Chomp.
Oh, we have a situation.
Yeah.
We heard from Key Ops. That's Keeopps. Key Ops on Instagram. Found this podcast a while back, and it's awesome.
Thank you.
Decided today to start at episode 1 and catch up and catch the ones I missed. I'm just making things up at this point. It saves me when I'm on the road for work. If you're all into spooky like me, I highly recommend it. Thanks, dude.
Yeah,
and I'm
you.
glad that helps you when you're at work. Hope we make your day better. Go faster.
Not our drooling, fatigues you and makes you fall asleep while you're driving.
He did say at Paranormal Punchers, you guys are rad.
Right on.
Yeah, thanks, man. Appreciate that. Let's see. Oh, we on Twitter, we heard from the Conspiracy Asylum.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a new podcast. He said, I love you guys. I love your guys' podcast. Been listening to it on CastBox. Big fan. Let me know what you think of mine. So he has a podcast. He did an episode about Stan Romanek, alien abduction story. Now, I did listen to it. There was he had a lot of swearing going on in there, but if that doesn't bother you, I thought it was pretty funny. He made me laugh out loud a bunch of times.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Conspiracy Asylum. Dude, keep it up. Oh, we got some reviews on iTunes. We heard from Joker49326. He said, awesome. Awesome podcast. One of my top paranormal podcasts.
Right
they make you feel like a friend. You guys should look into the Great Lakes Triangle.
Ooh. And I lived up in Erie. I've never heard of this.
I know, but I'm telling you, this triangle keeps coming up.
I know.
In everything we talk about. I'm really starting to wonder if Stargate was a documentary.
Isn't the triangle, or is it the pyramid, is a sign of the Illuminati also? Like on the $1
Yeah,
bill
yeah.
on the back?
Yeah.
According to Dan Brown.
Yeah. New World Order. And, yeah.
I wonder if it's all together.
Does Illuminati know about aliens?
What if they are aliens?
Ooh.
Well, I mean, yeah. Well, yeah. Never mind.
Why is it always a triangle? That's what.
That's what I agree.
I need to deep dive and see what's all the conspiracy theories about. Symbolism and
the
triangles.
number 3 has a lot of meaning to it.
Okay.
And
And it's almost a perfect shape. It depends on the angles, and it's a sign of math. I don't know.
I could
It's
go
also
off for
pointy.
hours, and I'll stop myself here.
That's right.
The Great Lakes Triangle. Joker 49326. Thank you. I'm definitely gonna check it out because I'm intrigued now. There's too many triangles happening.
Oh, yeah.
They're all over the place.
Yep.
Yep.
Triangles within triangles.
What?
Right.
Like a pentagram?
Yeah, kind of. Just with triangles.
Okay.
Well,
Oh, wait, hold on.
sorry.
Dave's talking. No, it's a holiday special. You can talk, Dave.
no, never mind. That was
We were just idea brainstorming there for a second. Don't worry. It's all right.
that was a flicker that turned into.
Oh, you were like, did you forget we're on the air?
Yeah.
No. I forgot what I was saying as I was saying it.
It's like when you try to start a lighter and you see the spark, but the flame doesn't happen, and then you see the spark. And there it goes. Oh, well.
No, it was more of you see the spark as you've said, hold my beer, and you realize what it's igniting into, and
Yeah.
it's time to step away.
Nice.
I'm not even sure what happened. But we also heard from Buccaneer Films. They said, help!
Uh-oh.
A large, hairy creature calling himself Frank stomped out of the forest and demanded that I give you a 5-star review. Or else he would send my family to Skinwalker Ranch.
Ooh.
Nice.
On a side
Frank.
note, I listened to an episode or 50. Pretty
Wow.
good.
Wow,
Wow.
Thanks, Buccaneer Films.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time. I was going to apologize for approaching you in the forest there. Sorry about that.
Oh, you're acting like you're Frank now?
I was
know.
the large, hairy creature, but that was a little late. Sorry.
Yep.
It's going off the rails.
Yeah.
It's going off the holiday rails. Thank you so much, everybody. We love to
Yep.
get feedback. We love the topic ideas. Like, again, I'm going down this triangle. That's going to send me down
Yeah.
a rabbit hole.
I know.
If you want to send us some feedback, just go to paranormalpunches.com. You'll find plenty of links to do it. And you can also go to Apple Podcasts, leave us a review. That's pretty awesome because Apple likes that. We'd like that. Makes everybody happy and warm and fuzzy inside.
Exactly. So if anybody knows anything about the significance of triangles when it comes to aliens or the Illuminati, let us know what you think or what you know. Right.
Hey, right.
Wow.
Right.
Honestly, I'm hearing that we should do an episode on the number 3. And all triangles.
the magic number.
Yeah. Like we could.
A 1, a 2, a 3. Now, if you're still
you
with
guys.
us, if you're still listening,
Yeah.
we never told you our main topic.
Oh, yeah,
tonight.
that's right. We do have a
I
topic.
thought it was
today.
Santa Claus.
Well,
Just
no.
kidding. Never mind.
Yeah, no.
I gave up on that.
Yeah.
We are going to discuss a phenomenon.
Phenomena.
Don't go down the hole. Don't. It's right there. Don't go down it.
In Australia called the Min Min Lights.
Yes.
Now, this was a suggestion from one of our amazing listeners, or as I call him, co-host, Meg. You know, we heard from Meg about her cat last episode.
Yeah.
Meg also said her Kiwi boyfriend suggested this topic about the Min Min Lights.
Right.
I had a little note here about why she suggested this, but, you know,
You can't find it?
I closed the wrong tab, truth be told. So,
Having technical difficulties in the studio.
what just happened?
It's okay.
Sorry.
We're all good. We're good.
Did you pull the plug on something?
No, I pulled my cord here, and it
Almost.
took my headphones off.
Well, guess what? I cut nothing out.
It's all raw.
You get
Here
to
we
hear,
go.
you get to hear all the mistakes and everything. But yeah, so the Min Min lights, these are this light phenomenon that and I have a lot of things I want to unpack about these lights. But,
Yeah.
all right, so imagine you're in the outback of Australia. Now, Australia is already like, I would say I'm mildly like afraid of the outback of Australia.
There's so many things there that want to kill you. Everywhere.
Yeah, like
It all wants to kill you.
I feel like, correct me if I'm wrong, everybody from Australia, but
Right.
they have.
So only you people in Australia can correct
Yeah.
him if he's wrong.
Right.
At
Well,
this,
yeah,
at
because
this
they
stage.
live there. They're most knowledgeable. But I feel like they have like the highest population of poisonous snakes.
Yes. Yeah.
They got spiders that look like they're out of that movie Arachnophobia.
Yeah. I would agree with that. Yes.
And also, you can wander yourself out in the desert, and it's wicked hot. You can not make it back.
Yeah, you've got the drought. You've got frogs that can kill you.
You got frogs that can kill
you
you.
got all kinds of stuff out there that is designed to kill you. It's fantastic.
The frogs can kill you there?
Yeah, super poisonous frogs down there.
I thought that was South America. The frogs,
No, the ones
too.
that's the ones you can lick, and then you go on a space trip.
in South America? That's the poison
Yeah.
dart frogs.
Oh, don't lick those.
Yeah, no.
Well, I mean, there are
Anyways,
poisonous frogs everywhere, but they've got there's.
I thought this is where they introduced the frogs to kill the insect that was invading something, and the frogs took over. It was like,
Right, they made super frogs.
yeah.
Is that what happened?
Yeah, but I didn't think the frogs kill you. It was just that they were all
Super
over the place.
frogs.
Well, I mean, it's going to kill you the same way a spider's going to kill you. You're not going to go out and try to duke it out with the spider. But if you should happen to come across one and it gets you,
I swear to God, and maybe YouTube is lying, but I've seen some spiders in the outback. I
They're
think you would
huge.
Oh
you
my
could
God.
actually punch in the face.
they're
that
huge.
big.
Yeah.
And the kangaroos,
You don't want to mess with kangaroos.
because they look
Really
like
don't wanna mess with
they're
kangaroos.
on steroids and about to pose down
Yeah.
for the Arnold Classic.
Did you ever see what the foot looks like? The spear on the middle toe?
Is it like?
Oh my God! They're
is it like a
designed to go
Wolverine
back
claw?
on their tail and like
disembowel you. Or,
eviscerate
yeah. Yeah, it's insane.
yeah.
Everything there wants to kill you.
Yeah. My question was going to be, okay, for the people that lived there for a point of time, how long do you have to live there to be an expert that it wants to kill you?
Like day
if I
one
just go-
after being born, you know that.
Like, if I go visit for a day, am I an expert that it wants to kill me, or do I have to stay for a week or a month? Or
You just don't go outside. Climate control is
Yeah.
the way to stay alive.
But they're
in
coming
Australia.
in.
I know.
They're coming up in the toilets.
What?
That's awesome.
No, that's
No.
a snake, bro,
A poison snake coming up
in your toilet.
Oh God.
Nope.
No.
Would you do that? Would you do the air turd? Is it you do the hover move over the toilet? Is that what
Wow.
it is?
If I would never do it. I would never poop again. If you see something like that,
You can't even poop in the sink because they can come out the sink. Then no, there's a flange in the sink that prevents it from doing that. You
I'd
can
have
go
to
in the sink.
invent a toilet like on Josh 2.0, that one that was like 20 feet high. I'd have to invent a toilet like that if a snake came in. I'd have to.
Well, if it was 20 feet high, it wouldn't matter. It would still go up there. If they can come up through the plumbing, the plumbing.
No,
is,
but it was 20 feet high, but it was also crystal clear. You could see everything.
Oh,
So you
gotcha.
could check before you got on that there was nothing in the tube.
But I don't know if you'd want it crystal clear because then you'd see not
Yeah.
just stuff coming up, but stuff going down.
Just try not to look.
Yeah.
Well, I guess if you're doing it, you're not looking.
You
either.
investigate, you check before.
Yeah.
And if you're the one doing it, then you're not the one watching it, I guess, because it'd be kind of impossible.
So I think what we're trying to say is that the Min Min lights are probably the most benign thing in Australia.
In Australia.
This is a huge moment in our podcast history. For the first time ever, Dave brought us back on the rails.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you.
Never happened ever.
You're going off the rails before I'm ready for you to go off the rails.
Right.
Yes, we are talking about the Min Min lights.
Yeah.
Now we just discussed how crazy. I'm sure there's amazingly beautiful things in Australia, like Chris Hemsworth,
And the whole Hemsworth family, really.
yeah, pretty
really.
much.
Yeah.
and the beaches. But there's some messed up stuff. Now
Inflation.
We're
here's-
detouring.
The cost of, there's all kinds of stuff. There really is.
Okay, guys.
So the Min Min lights, I'll give you a brief description and we'll dive into it. But this is a phenomenon where people are out here in like, is it Western Queensland? This is like way out in the outback.
Like deep out there.
Well,
Like Aboriginal.
I don't
like
know.
Out in the desert kind of thing.
I don't know everything about Australia, obviously. So I'm not going to say yes, it's way deep in the outback. But it's the outback, like 100 and some miles of nothingness and desert. But anyway, there's cattle ranches out there. There's small settlements, small towns. But people reported these lights. They'll be out there, and these lights that can turn from like white to red to green. They'll be hovering above the ground. They move at a high rate of speed. Sometimes they'll come up and they'll just follow, like they're just mapping you for a while, like they're following you. And then somebody reported that they can split apart.
That's what I
And then
saw.
vanish.
That's what I heard, is that they come as a single and then they split apart.
People reported that when faced, when looking at one of these orbs of light, you're overwhelmed with such fear that you're scared, you're paralyzed,
Right.
you're bawling. People talked about being able to stare into this ball of light, and it's not like looking at a flashlight or the sun. Like it doesn't hurt. It's just it doesn't seem normal.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem man-made. It doesn't seem like headlights off in the distance.
Right.
It doesn't seem like the police flashlight in your face because you just passed out in the ditch because you had too many beers at the pub. It is unexplainable. I don't know. Like,
Let's tell us
did you
about
ever
this
have
experience.
did you ever have a flashlight in your face because you're laying in the ditch somewhere? Dave, come on. You know what I'm talking about.
I thought we weren't going to talk about that.
That's right.
That was my
That was
my way
earlier
to
this week.
that was my way to lead over into Lish here with some more facts.
All right. Well, the Min Min lights, they're actually, the name is derived from a small settlement with that. I think that it's called Min Min.
It's called
Min
Min
Min.
Min.
Yeah. And in 1918, there was a stockman that observed this light, and that's kind of where
What's a
it comes.
stockman?
I'm assuming it's a cattle.
At that,
Cattle
it'd-
stock.
Yeah, it'd be like
Yeah,
a cattle
livestock.
rancher
Yeah.
kind of
Okay.
thing.
But that's where the name comes from, and that's what everybody calls it, even though it's not coming from Min Min anymore. It's
When it has been reported in surrounding areas, but
Yeah.
it seems it's pretty
yeah.
It's pretty localized.
localized.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. Thank you.
Yeah. And Min Min, is Min Min still there? Or is it Min Min gone?
They are still there,
Okay.
but I think now they even have like a big sign that's like home of the Min lights. So
so it's kind of evolved
Yeah.
into like
tourism.
Yeah, it's all about tourism.
like a
Heck yeah,
Roswell kind of a
absolutely,
thing.
do it.
Gotcha.
which I would totally go,
Yeah, totally.
I know.
but
But you might die.
Yeah, you might get swallowed by.
It might be fun, but you might die.
so Europeans actually started document this Min lights in 1838. So this was even like before that, and even before that, the Aborigines, they had the Min lights in their mythos and a lot of their legends that they passed down about these lights.
Yeah, the Aborigines they feel that the Min lights are actually like their elders.
Yes, they think that they're
that
spirits.
have passed on. Yeah, spirits. They're looking over
Yes.
the land. They're protecting.
So
Yeah.
they were welcome in the community then, in the Aboriginal
In the-
community,
yeah.
because they were like,
yeah, they felt like these lights were their ancestors, and they were upset that they were murdered or
like driven off or something.
by Europeans that came in to the area. But
Oh, I'm sorry. So these lights going around are not spirits that passed on
Peacefully.
peacefully. Thank you.
no, I think
Some of these spirits are protecting the land because they're still angry.
yeah, they're unrestful.
Oh.
Yeah,
Ah, okay.
yeah,
I think the biggest thing from that for me is the concept that, you know, of all the other lights we've talked about, headlights are always one of the topics that come up as a
Yeah.
possible explanation. There were no headlights back then. This is
No.
so it's like this is it gives a little bit more credibility to the concept,
Right.
and it yeah.
Yeah, and also like if there were sightings back then, like the speed these things move
Right.
can't be matched today with our automobiles.
Yep.
No.
So back then, I mean, obviously you're like, oh my god,
Yeah.
no, and I feel like a lot of the stories that I came across about these lights they weren't just like right behind them. They would like move directions. They would jump on different sides of the car, and so they were just like, "What is this light? What is going on?"
yeah, very erratic.
Yes.
But some described it also as extremely intelligent. The flight movement
Yeah.
this thing is making. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Like someone's controlling it with a drone or a pilot,
Right.
Right.
like Top Gun, alien Top Gun in it.
Well, if it was, I don't know if I would say that. You know,
boy.
Top Gun, you know, doing the flyby with Iceman,
The volleyball scene
with Min Iceman.
the Min lights at the volleyball scene.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
totally it.
Okay. But I mean, I could see it as kind of like what you guys are saying, where if it's like an elder or something like that, if there has to be some kind of an intelligence, that would kind of make sense.
Right.
To where if it was an elder, then they would show intelligence because they were the most intelligent
Right.
before they passed.
Yeah.
And they still wanted to help out, so they knew like the lay of the land, these caves, so they would pay homage to the
Right.
lights.
No, and I feel like the Aborigines, they feared these lights, and they believed that they could take someone's life. So
Well-
they didn't mess around with them.
Well, that would make sense.
Yeah.
I mean, you would give them respect. You know, you would give
Right.
them kind of fear and respect because
Right.
there's something you don't quite fully understand.
Because some of the legend, the lore behind it is like they will distract you. So if you're just, I don't know, camping, they'll distract you. You want to follow them, and you're never seen again.
Yeah.
Right.
So maybe like I want to finish some of the description of this because I need
Sure.
to unpack some theories. Because
Okay.
Oh, here we go.
I'm just saying, over the past year, we've talked about a lot of stuff,
2 words coming to mind.
and there's a lot of similarities.
Uh-huh.
You
Yeah.
save it. You save it. It's not time to unpack.
Shut your mouth.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Most of the stories that I came across, they were more benign. They were just kind of like really just confused about what they were seeing. But there was one person that he was out camping with some people, and he saw the lights. They were bobbing and weaving, and he was like, "What is this?" He wasn't scared of them, so he decided he wanted to follow them or investigate them. So he started following this trail, and it kept getting farther and farther away from him. And then all of a sudden he heard this voice that was like, "Stop, turn around." and he realized he was at a chasm. And if he had taken a couple steps to follow these lights, he would have died. Like he would have gone over the chasm. And so he was just like, I mean, they might be benign, but there might be moments where they are trying to lure you to your death.
Mm-hmm.
What if the lights were kind of selective in who they were luring out? So if someone who was a good person was, and they didn't really want to lure, like this guy who was going into the chasm, they would be like, no, stop, and save his life, and you really shouldn't have been following this. You were just curious.
Right.
Whereas they would distract somebody maybe unscrupulous.
Right.
Yeah.
Didn't say the moral or the ethics of who was falling and not coming back.
Yeah.
It just said that it was happening.
So what was the explanation for the voice? Was that Bam or was that...
No, I don't think there was an explanation. I think it was like either in his mind's eye.
Mind's eye?
Mind's eye, yeah.
He just kind of heard it like almost
He heard
telepathically.
it. Yeah, it was almost like stop, turn
like
around.
ESP?
Yeah. I don't think he really explained, like his friends were not going to follow.
Okay.
So I don't know where the voice came from.
I'm not saying it's aliens.
right.
Well, I mean, to me, that's like, okay, nothing else is around. They were leading him for something, but they also wanted to protect him. So almost like, hey, follow us, and we're going to show you that we're good, or something like that. Like,
Right.
Yeah, but that...
Or is there more than? Is it just? Is it the lights, or is it there more like another entity that's like trying to stop the lights from?
That's
Okay.
interesting. Because what's funny, and it's not funny, but about your story, that guy almost ran off a cliff.
Yeah.
And they said, stop, turn around.
Yeah.
I read a story, it was like back in like 1930s, was it?
Okay.
But there was a cattle ranchers, they were doing cattle rancher stuff, out there.
Yeehaw.
On the
He's
ranch.
shooting their gun.
Yeah, I don't know. That sounds like a movie. Yeah. This was real life. Maybe they were shooting off guns, but they long day of ranching cattle, and they had a campfire, and they were telling the story about the Midman lights to each other, like relating stories they've heard, and they're out in the open plains, and sure enough, these lights come up, and one cowboy gets on his horse. He's like, I'm gonna get him.
I'm gonna figure this out.
He goes after
here.
these lights. He never came back.
Interesting.
But then they did find his dead body because he ran himself and his horse into a barbed wire fence.
Oh.
And they were dead.
That's
so
miserable.
In this case, they didn't tell him to stop, turn back.
But maybe he was
he
a
didn't
dirty
listen.
maybe he was a dirty horse
maybe
thief.
he didn't listen.
Yeah.
Could have been a dirty horse thief. You never know. Could have been a cheater playing poker.
Well, no, he was part of the cattle ranchers.
He still could have been a dirty horse thief.
or maybe they told him like right at the last second, and they're like, well, I tried.
Like, oh, sorry.
We waited too long. Turns out horses can't turn on a dime.
That's right.
Maybe it's like their initiation ceremony for youngins, and the youngin failed, but they tried.
Yeah.
Tried. No, better luck next time. One Min light to another. Hey, Marty, maybe we'll get him next time. Well, I guess horses aren't that telepathic.
All right. Or maybe he was.
Maybe he was. Maybe he was, but the horse wasn't.
I like the story around, people have been shooting at these lights,
Oh yeah.
Yes.
and that if you shoot at them, they disappear only to reappear later. Like, that's kind of creepy and cool at the same time.
Right.
I like the whole concept. Somebody sees some strange lights in the sky. They're like, I'm going to shoot it.
I'm going to
Who's going to shoot it?
Yeah.
That reminds me of the Independence Day.
Yeah.
We're asking Los Angeles not to fire their weapons at the aliens. Might trigger off an intergalactic war.
Now, with the shooting, I read a story that a lady saw the Min lights and broke out her camera, took a bunch of pictures. Now, she had on her camera, she had taken pictures of just random stuff, kids, whatever. They came out great. The ones she did on the same roll,
Okay.
on the same camera roll, the ones she took of the Min lights, blank. They didn't come out at all.
Right.
So the next time she saw them, rather than pick up her camera to shoot them, she picked up a .22 rifle and started popping shots off at them.
Okay.
I know.
Okay.
Which I'm like, all right.
Now, do you know roughly the year or was there it was in like the 30s or the 70s or the?
No, the lady with the camera, I think that was like 70s or 80s.
Okay, so that was a
Don't quote me on that.
So that was a manual focus camera,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which would be super difficult to take a picture.
Well, yeah, it wasn't her iPhone.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If it was a camera that you had to manually
Right.
focus with no focal distance, it'd be
Yeah,
out
but
of focus.
all the pictures of the kids came out great.
Because she was jiving it in.
All right, I'm 100% behind you. On
You know
that.
what I'm saying? I think that I don't think that they
thought
could
that
be
the
in
pictures
focus.
were like blank, like nothing developed on them. But I can see why the Min lights are blurry, just like Frank, because you were trying. You had to focus.
You had to focus.
Manually focus.
Yeah.
And stuff's moving really.
And stuff's moving up in the sky where there's no set. I don't.
Right.
It might be tough. Someone could do it.
We'll debunk that outside of the fact that the next time she saw him, she just shot at him.
That's right. That's the fun part.
I mean, come on, that's pretty fun.
Yeah.
Now, I do have, I don't know about you three, but I have kind of a story that kind of goes back to what you were saying, 1838.
Yeah.
There was a little, it was a written account of the Min lights. It was in a book called The 6 Months in South Australia.
Oh, yeah.
It says a group of explorers were camped in the Ovens River region of eastern Victoria when they saw a fire a little way off. Some of them rode to investigate, but it was about 3 hours before they returned and had seen neither fire, bushrangers. Anybody know what a bushranger is?
You keep talking. I'm gonna look
Okay,
that
and
up.
travelers. They rode boldly up to the spot where the fire, as they thought, was burning, but it was as far off as when they started. In short, it turned out to be an ignis fatuus, it'd be an ignis fatuus, or a jack-o'-lantern, and kept them upwards of an hour trotting in the vain pursuit. Till suddenly they flickered, and paleness. Then it turned around and confirmed them in its unsubstantial nature, and they returned rather mortified to bed.
Bushranger.
Yeah.
Bushranger is originally an escaped convict in the early years of the British settlement of Australia. I guess they escaped and were living way out in the bush.
Okay.
Far from civilization.
So basically, these dudes,
So bushranger.
they were
Ranger.
out. They
Bushranger?
Ranger. Ranger. No, you had it right. Bushranger. You had it right.
Bushranger
It was
sounds
a
cool.
bushranger.
Bushranger doesn't sound cool.
Yeah. Bushranger.
Bushranger.
That sounds very different. It sounds like they went to the fire, but the fire kept moving. So I read this and thought Will o' the Wisps.
Yeah.
That's 100% of what I got from this story.
But there's more.
Yeah.
There's more. Like I want to wrap up before we get to like similarities and concepts and theories. Like when I was looking up stuff about this, I felt like everything we talked about, there was things just in my head exploding
Right.
about like, oh my God, that's like this. It sounds like that. It looks like that.
Right.
We'll get there, but let's finish up with what our Min Light story is, and then theories.
Yeah.
Do you have anything, Lisha?
So
Did you ever hear of a bush ranger?
nope. That would be no.
Tennessee convict
So
out in the bush.
I need to begin with the Min Hotel.
Oh.
Oh,
Yes. It
In
was
Min Min.
Yes, it was in Min Min.
Okay.
It was notorious for selling drugs and modified alcohol. So
Modified alcohol?
yeah. So like they
With
would
like hallucinogenics and stuff in it?
Yeah, they would mess with it.
Okay.
So they would give it to the workers that would stop in to drink.
Sure.
And
Good times by all.
some men would stay at the hotel while most people probably just kind of passed through drinking or whatever. Numerous people died there, either from the drugs or the tainted alcohol,
A bit of both.
deadly brawls. They could have been murdered for money. Like it was just a seedy,
Kind of
it was
like
a seedy hotel.
I imagine kind of like a Wild West, really out there wild, really wild,
Yeah.
and wasted.
Yeah. So those men, the people that have died there, they've been buried behind the hotel.
Okay.
There was a fire in the early 1900s that burned this hotel down. So the only thing that remained was this graveyard. Okay, so in 1947, there was a guy traveling through, a stockman on horseback.
Okay.
Yes. He was passing through and he encountered a bizarre light. He decided to, he rode to the police station, was like, you got to see this.
He was like,
it's crazy.
You gotta
It's
check this
hanging
out.
out in the middle of the cemetery. The glow kept getting bigger, and then it was the size of a watermelon.
Wow.
Yeah. So it was pretty big.
Well, like one of those little teeny tiny seedless watermelons, or
I don't
a
know.
full big boy.
Yeah, he didn't say.
Either way, freaky.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have the point. You have the point.
So he just was, he couldn't believe it, and he decided to ride his horse to this to the police station, and of course they did not believe him.
Well, no.
But I thought it was kind of interesting that he saw this outside the Min Min Hotel, which was this seedy place that a lot of people died in. Did
you find anything like them rebuilding the hotel after the fire, or did they
You know
leave it
what?
burnt down?
I have no idea if they did.
So then the only thing there would have been the grave sites.
Yeah, just the grave sites.
So
I mean, at that time, I imagine that the hotel was burnt down and it was just the grave site.
So was the cemetery just on the back of the hotel?
Yeah, it was on the back of the hotel.
So if there was a fire and there's people in the ground dead, are they cooking?
I don't know.
Probably not.
Do you know?
If
Doubtful.
you're buried 6 feet under,
Yeah.
I don't think
I don't know. It's a pretty hot thing. I mean, you know what?
fire goes up.
Yeah.
So it just kind of made me.
Haven't you ever
Think
seen the
about
action movies where they jump and they're like under a boat or something and the flames are all above them and doesn't?
Oh yeah, okay. Like in True Lies,
True Lies.
where Schwarzenheimer,
Yeah.
when he swims under the water.
Yeah, I mean-
right.
You know, if you can't believe Hollywood, who
Right.
can you believe?
Who can you believe?
Yeah.
I got you.
Yeah, so it made me think about, because we talked about the Aborigines and they
Right.
think it's the spirits of their dead.
Yeah.
So I almost wondered, like,
Could it have
what
been
is this light?
Right.
Because if the people who were getting murdered in the hotel probably had regrets or unfinished
Oh, boy,
business
yeah.
or staying for whatever reason,
Vengeance.
Yep.
yet vengeance. Do you think it was possibly returning to the body?
I don't know.
You saw. I wonder if if
Yeah.
it is intelligent, can it like read the gravestones? I wonder if they were marked.
I don't know.
Questions.
I doubt it.
Questions.
I
You
know.
know, typically, if you murder somebody, you don't mark their gravestone.
Well, but if they were died and there's a cemetery out back, but that's pretty common
Yeah.
fare, and just to mark it with something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And then if the spirit came back, if the Min Min light came back looking for its body, thinking that it, I don't know, maybe it wasn't dead or it was dead or I don't know. Huh.
Tell you what,
What?
why don't we take a break? Because I want to come back and give you some of my theories and opinions about the Min Min lights. We'll be right back. Nash, you know, what is like the one thing that could go wrong on a paranormal investigation?
Why, Mark? That's the lack of food.
You know, people are putting in their backpack a EMF detector, a flashlight,
Yeah.
a digital recorder, but if you forget that snack,
Your
your whole evening could be ruined.
That's exactly right.
So, if you head over to mfjerky.com, you can order some delicious beef jerky, and if you use our code SpookyJerky15, you can save 15% on your order, and it's a big savings. That way, when you're out doing an investigation, you're not going to worry about hunger pains. Your stomach's not going to growl and mess up a possible EVP.
Right. Right.
And like we like to say here, Moses Family Jerky, the best thing to pack on your paranormal or normal adventure. And we're back. Happy holidays, everybody. We were talking about the Min Min lights. And hey, just because we're always what do you call that?
Just-
Candid,
That's right. And we're jumping
transparent with our
right
listeners.
into the topic.
everybody thought I hit record. We were sitting there doing 5 minutes of podcast, and I forgot to hit record. So, hey, we're back, and we're going to try it again.
Take two.
But that's what the holiday special is all about. Me apparently messing up.
Yeah.
But anyway, what I want to talk about here is the similarities to other things we talked about this year. Mm-hmm. So the Min Min lights, we just talked about the Rendlesham Forest.
Yep.
The description from Colonel Halt was very similar. The light balls of light that were changing colors, zooming around really fast, but also very precise.
Right.
We're almost like...
So they were very specific in
like
their
that,
actions.
yeah. It wasn't just random. Like that is being controlled by an intelligent being or something.
Right.
Skinwalker Ranch. They were talking about the blue balls of light,
Yep.
as the one guy referred to them as the blue meanies. I think I just made that up. It doesn't matter. If you go up to Massachusetts. Up there in the wicked area of Massachusetts, the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a terrible.
They
accent.
had...
Wow.
No, it's okay.
Oh, you could do better?
No, I can't. I was
Yeah,
just saying-
word to your mother.
There it is. There you go. There you go.
But they also talked about balls of light, but they talked about the Pukwudgie,
Oh, yeah.
who lured people into the forest to never be seen again.
Right.
So I'm throwing it out there. What do you guys think of the similarities?
Yeah.
Well, I think that you've got a thing with the Pukwudgies. But besides that, we have stories where, and I'm going to agree with you when it comes to the lights, because I was going back to the Hoibasiu forest.
Ooh.
Right? Way back, there was orbs of light at that time.
Was there?
Yeah, there were orbs of light. They were coming through. Remember, because we said that was... wasn't there even orbs of light in the Remington?
Remington Steele? that TV show with
the gun lady, the crazy gun lady in California.
Oh, the Winchester Mansion?
Thank you, not Remington Steele.
Oh, she did. Yeah, there were some there.
There were
too.
some there too.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking that this is, I don't know if it's aliens, but but it could be aliens. But I do like the idea of elder spirits coming back, and this is how they're coming back. That the two words that everybody should know comes from my mouth in this one is the pudding skin, which is 3 words. Pudding skin, baby. Because this is how they're coming through onto our side. This is how we're perceiving them through the
Why has it
veil.
got to be pudding skin?
Because that's the best analogy, man. It really is. The Hoibasiu, where the veil between our reality and there was the thinnest, gives it a little resistance, but then you can break through, just like chocolate pudding.
Oh boy.
I imagine that if you ever write a book, it's going to be The Pudding Skin
That
by Nash Chartier.
it really should be the name of my autobiography. Nash Chartier, Pudding Skin.
The Pudding Skin.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about the veil.
But that could very much be what it is in Australia. They're coming back, and we have the
Just like Skinwalker Ranch.
Yeah.
So you're saying the Min Min, that area, was it the western part of Queensland?
I think so.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're saying that's similar to Skinwalker Ranch.
Yes.
They're able to...
There are certain parts in this world where the two realities come together, and the barrier between the two is thinner than most, thinner than other places. That's,
Or the dimensions between our planets.
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. That's where they align.
Or realities.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Did I just do that? That was a belch on my part. Sorry.
Wow.
Did you do that in the microphone, bro?
I think I did.
I didn't hear it because I was belching at the same time, so I missed it.
He blew it in my face.
Hey! Happy holidays, everybody. We're sorry.
Sorry about that.
We're sorry.
Yeah, so I just think that could be where this happens all the time. But in these spots that the pudding skin between the two realities is the softest for things to come across. Like a
You
spoon.
and your pudding skin.
I know.
Going in a yummy pudding.
I do like that there's around the world there's similar stories about this.
Right.
It really for me brings it feels like no matter how you describe it over here, no matter how you describe it over here, like you start talking about these stories, like it is similar. We're almost talking about the same thing.
Yeah.
It goes back to like with Bigfoot. You know, people see Bigfoot all over this world. Different name for it, different types of stories. It just makes you think like we might be talking about the exact same thing.
Yeah.
Is it aliens? I don't know, but it's super interesting.
Yeah.
Now I know there are scientists who have already said, "No, you're wrong. This is what it is." Liz, do you have some deets on some of the scientist stuff?
Yeah, there's some scientific theories. Bioluminescence is one of them. And I don't know about this one, but they believe it could be insects that are swarming that might be contaminated by local fungi.
That's
So
That's a freaking stretch.
So bioluminescence is one of those things that I honestly want to be around us all the time. There's so many cool things that can happen with that. This doesn't make any sense for bioluminescence.
I know, right?
Like,
I mean, the only time you ever come across something with that much ability to be to brighten, you know, biologically speaking, it's in the water. It's fungus in the water,
Right,
or
well, did you
But keep in mind that these things sometimes will go from in front of you, circle back, get
Right.
behind you,
I know.
and follow you.
Right.
That
Yes.
doesn't sound like a swarm of insects or a very intelligent
No.
swarm of malicious, I'm going to drink all your blood insects. Maybe. I don't know.
that's a robotic insect.
did you see the video of the dolphin swimming through the bioluminescent algae?
No.
no.
No, but that's where the
it's-
bioluminescent algae.
It's an amazing video. I mean, it's 2 or 3 weeks that it came out. It's not very bright. I mean, you're looking into the water, sure, which darkens it somewhat, but it's not like you think that there's
It's not like an orb.
headlights or anything.
right. It's not an orb.
It is a faint glow that looks really cool. Psychedelic, but it's not. Bioluminescence does not describe this in the least.
No.
No, it doesn't. They also think it could be marsh gas,
Well, I had that.
which
That was up in the Bridgewater Triangle. They
Yeah.
thought the same thing.
so, but the environment in Australia, they don't really have a whole lot of marshes.
it's
Well, they
it's
do have
marsh
some-
gas, but there's no marshes.
No,
Right.
but they do have swamps, though. They have to have swamps.
No, it's
I-
desert.
Yeah.
Well, they have
it's all-
quicksand. If they have quicksand, they have swamps,
Okay.
right?
Are you sure? You should
Yes.
probably Google something.
I know.
Okay, well,
Before you start
is there
talking.
anybody with a computer in front of them here? People in Australia, any listeners in Australia, do you
Yeah.
have swamps in Australia?
In the middle of
Of the outback.
desert.
Western Queensland.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is
Yeah, where the Min lights are. Yeah.
Okay, I'll look while you go.
Anyway, so I didn't think that
Right.
was very
and usually marsh gas doesn't seem intelligent.
right.
And it can't go at these high. They said these balls of light are going at a high rate of speed
Right.
and are able to turn on a dime and do
Yeah.
patterns that seem intelligent,
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
random.
Right.
Now the
I'm defending the heck out of the Min lights right now.
the third scientific explanation is the one that most people cling to: refraction.
Right.
And what?
That sounds so silly.
Oh, okay. So basically, if it's cold, dense air near the ground, it can cause light to look like it's closer to the surface instead of up where it
Or
should
bend
be.
around the surface.
Yeah.
I saw a photo of a
it's
ship that looked like it was floating.
Right.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
a mirage.
Yeah, so a lot of people actually think that that's actually what people are seeing, but it doesn't explain why it would move around and then go behind them. And
Correct.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Right.
And almost some of the reports sound like it's stalking them.
Right.
At some
Right.
point,
Exactly.
a mirage doesn't stalk you.
Right.
The refraction makes perfect sense for the things in the distance, like headlights, and the what was it, Brown Mountain lights.
Yeah.
We were talking about the
that's another
train.
one, yes.
With trains in the distance, the refraction can easily make sense to explain that. Not saying it is, but this
This
doesn't
is like 5-10 feet away.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. That's not refraction. I mean, that's
So there are
not a good, and with the Aborigines having this in their history, it does not. None of the normal modern scientific explanations make sense.
Right.
Like,
okay, naysayers. naysayers.
Okay.
6 of the best. It says the best Australian wetlands. The Coorong, Barmah Forest, Molting Lagoon, Macquarie Marshes,
Okay.
Mariba Tropical Savanna, and the Kakadu National Park.
How
Are they
scary
all-
are swamps in Australia?
Yeah.
They're all swamps. And that's
Where are they located, though?
Australia.
Yeah,
know
Australia's a
that.
big
I said
place.
that.
Yeah,
That's
it's a big.
We were talking about
Countries.
Well, they-
specifically Western or Eastern Western.
Well,
or
they
Northwestern,
abbreviate-
somewhere in Queensland.
They abbreviate it, but I got to tell you, I have no idea what these abbreviations even stand for because I'm
Okay.
not from Australia.
True. Okay.
So the Barmah Forest is in VIC, wherever that might be.
okay. Victoria.
Victoria.
Okay, Victoria, Australia.
Yes.
That's a place in Australia.
Yes.
Okay. What about TAS? TAS?
Tasmania.
Tasmania.
It's an island off the southeast.
Okay. Are you sure that that's that TAS? Because it says in Australia.
It's part of.
It's part of it.
Okay.
That's
what about
Tasmania.
NSW? Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've heard it, but I don't know.
and
what
QLD
it's
is that
called.
Queensland?
Why are you quizzing us on
QLD.
about
See,
Australia?
so there are swamps there. So there is
Okay.
gas.
Look how freaking big Queensland is.
Wait, Let's just give now. Okay, so there's swamps
There's a lot of
Okay.
swamps
in
there.
Australia,
Okay.
Nash.
Okay.
Are you saying it's swamp gas?
No.
Just because there's swamps?
Not at all. I think that's an idiot thing to say.
Well,
to
you
do.
just argued so
I
much
know.
about
I'm defending
swamps.
I'm defending my stance.
Oh boy. So non-scientific explanations are ghosts, spirits, or fairies, and then UFOs. So
Okay.
that's pretty much what I have.
But compared
I've
to
never seen them, but I'm going to lean towards some of the descriptions. Sounds like very similar to other
I know.
UFO reports from over
Right.
where we live, and I don't know. That's what
compared to the
I'm
list,
feeling. I'm going that way.
the scientific list that you had sounds so much more implausible than saying it's spirits or ghosts.
Yeah.
That-
The only one that is close enough is refraction, but honestly, it doesn't fit every mold of all these stories. so-
And it has to be far away.
Right.
I would go more towards the spirits. I like the idea.
You
of
go
the
more
elders.
towards the spirits.
Yeah, I go more
moving at
towards
high
it.
rate of speed.
Yep. Guided by an intelligence, which would be the person coming across from the spirit world.
So you think they could go like Mach 10?
Well, I don't know.
I made that up. I don't know if they
That's pretty
they let's go
fast.
Mach 10.
No.
That's pretty fast.
But
is
they
that
would-
faster than the Enterprise?
No way. No way. 9.6 is it 9.65? Is warp 9.65? I think it's at top speed. But anyway, I think that the spirits would be able to guide people or pull people along, and they have recognition of the cemetery plots in Min Min. That's mine. I think it's spirits. I think it's
That's funny because 5 minutes ago, you were like, the pudding skin, dimensional barrier.
yes. That's
And then we talked about aliens. I thought your theory was it was aliens.
no the dimensional barriers between the spirit world and our world.
All right.
Silly
That's
goose.
cool. That's cool. No, I'm thinking there's an alien,
But it
UFO
could be.
connection. I'm going to connect the Min Min lights to the Rendlesham Forest to the Bridgewater Triangle.
Yep.
And I tell you what, right now, get out your maps. And you connect those three dots. Guess what you get?
Pudding skin.
A triangle?
Mathematics.
Thank you, Matt.
Oh, God.
I just think it's something there, whether it's spirits or aliens, I don't know. But there's still one thing that's
Yeah.
there in all those scenarios. Pudding skin.
Oh, God.
You know, I bet you if you took that triangle and you drew where it's pointing, that's going to be the location of the Hollow Earth
I
from the
was
comic
go-
book.
Yes. I was going to say, if the tip of the triangle is pointing to the North Pole, I'm like, it all leads to the
Yeah.
Hollow Earth.
Uh-huh.
We got to revisit that topic.
Uh-huh. Where they created Celine Dion.
That brings us back to the North Pole. That brings us back to a holiday episode.
Oh!
Well, no, I honestly, thinking about it, this is our Hanukkah episode, the Festival of Lights.
Oh.
Oh, nice. Nicely put.
Nice.
Very nice.
How do we turn it into a festive from Seinfeld?
A Festivus poll?
Festivus poll. Yeah,
Yeah,
we need
with
that.
the-
Well, I got a poll right there. Oh, wait. For your listeners, it's a legit poll that holds up. It's
house.
what do you call that?
House?
It's
Yeah.
a load-bearing poll. It's not a one of those shady poles.
Yeah, and it doesn't a load bearing pole does not mean large dancers.
Right, but I also said that for you because I didn't want you to go jump on the pole and start.
Yeah, and I was thinking it too.
That was so much fun. I could not believe how this one topic turned into that.
I know.
Meg, thank you so much. Let your boyfriend know that was an awesome topic suggestion.
It was.
Awesome.
That was.
Thank you. We have something special coming up. We have a special holiday edition of Dylon and Blue, that new sitcom that just came out, but only does,
Tracking all the airwaves.
like Netflix, only does randomly only a couple episodes, and then the season's over.
But we're going to keep dragging it through. We're going to keep going. Keep going.
Are you guys ready for some more Dylon and Blue?
I'm ready.
Here we go.
You are listening to Dylon and Blue, sponsored by Moses Family Coffee. The best way to start your day.
'Twas the night before Christmas, and all through the house, not a creature was stirring, 'cause I ate them, even that darn mouse.
Oh, hey, Blue. What you doing?
Read a bedtime story to the kids.
Kids? I didn't know you had kids.
Oh, I know. They're your next door neighbor's kids.
Holy Blue. You kidnapped the Johnson kids?
Don't overreact. I'm just reading to them. You know, getting into the Christmas spirit.
Getting into the Christmas spirit? Blue, you kidnap kids. That is not getting into the Christmas spirit.
Oh, I disagree. I know the Christmas spirit, and he's a bit of a prankster.
Oh, Blue, you're scaring the crap out of these kids.
No, I'm not. Kids, are you scared?
Please help us, Mr. Dylon.
Blue, you are returning these kids right now.
Fine. I'll just transport them back to bed and... There! Are you happy now?
Yes, I am, Blue. Hey, I did get you a gift.
A gift? For me?
Yeah, bud. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you, too.
And that is a holiday episode of Dylon and Blue. Man, that was a huge blast to do.
Yeah.
Did you guys like that?
Yeah.
That was fun.
Yeah,
That was
it
awesome.
fun.
That was
awesome.
super fun. You know what was super fun? This entire year. I feel like we made a lot of new friends. Mm-hmm. A lot of people listening to the show sent us feedback. Gave us.
Wow.
Not
Okay.
gave us.
Okay.
Gave us some great topic ideas.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to get to them. I mean, it took us like
doing it. We're
3 or
getting
4
through 'em.
months to get to the min lights.
I know.
But keep them coming. We greatly appreciate it. I feel like this was, just the interaction we've had this year. That's why I want to try to find a way we can get together and meet some people to go hunt a haunted location together.
Yeah.
Because this year we did the Jenny Wade house. Mm-hmm. The early part of 2019, we're doing the orphanage.
Oh, that's right. That's right. It's coming up.
Gettysburg.
That's right.
A couple things that I feel like we're going to launch in the new year is our Ghost Hunting 101.
Yeah.
Where we're going to have some people that do this on a regular basis or no more than we do about it. Talk to them so we can get some tips and get some more knowledge when you're going into these locations and how to do an investigation. Mm-hmm. I think that would be beneficial, obviously, to us and to people listening. And hey, like we said, that one place we could do a investigation for a whole, I don't know, daytime. God, what was that place we were talking about with Jeff?
Oh,
The asylum.
The asylum.
Yes, he wants to do
that's
an
right.
8-hour investigation.
8 hours.
But I was like, I would rather
That's a
do,
long time.
I'll do 4 and then 4 over here. But we did talk about earlier in the Midnight Lights investigating someplace. And then everybody, I could see the looks on your face. You forgot what we talked about because nobody can remember. But it's okay. I just remember that Jeff still wants to do the Pennhurst Asylum.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think we should go squatching too this summer.
I 100%
Yeah.
agree.
Yeah,
But where?
I just go out in the woods somewhere. Who knows?
Got to take some tick spray because, man,
I
ticks
know.
are bad in the Northeast.
Well,
here.
yeah, I would agree with that 100%. But yeah,
You think ticks are bad in like all over the place, or do you think there's ticks in Australia?
no.
Like when
If
everything
there are, they'll
when,
kill you.
I was going to say when
They're big. They're huge. They're like snapping turtles.
exactly.
Big,
So if you
fierce
get a
teeth.
tick in Australia,
You're dead.
you're dead.
You're just dead.
I know that there was ticks down south, but I remember when I lived there, it wasn't a concern for Lyme disease. It was just they were just annoying.
Yeah, now like
So-
man, everybody's worried about Lyme disease.
They have leeches down there. Don't they have blood sucking leeches down there in
Where,
Australia?
Australia?
Yeah.
They have them
We have those in-
everywhere.
yeah, Pennsylvania has those.
Yeah.
Did you ever see that movie Stand By Me?
Yes. Yes.
Every time I think of leeches,
Yeah, I agree.
think of that.
I agree with you 100%.
and no thank you.
Nope.
Getting back to what's coming up in 2019. Yeah, I think the Ghost Hunting 101 will be awesome.
Yep.
We're going to have some more paranormal investigations. We do want to figure out a way
Yeah.
to do a giant group hangout. But I'm going to put in a little asterisk, just like, just in case.
An asterisk.
An asterisk. Just in case it doesn't happen. Hey, we said there's
Right.
an asterisk beside it.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Weather permitting.
Yeah, exactly. Weather permitting, time permitting. But I had a great year doing this. We talked about some great stuff, and a good chunk of the subjects that we talked about were listener submitted, and that's amazing because I tell you what, you can only know so much. So we're located in Pennsylvania, so we only hear
What's
about
around
this
us.
or what we search on the internet. But when you talk to somebody else from, say, Missouri,
Right.
and they're like, but over here, one of our local legends is this.
Or
Like, we never would know about that.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's super cool. Again, with the Zombie Road.
I've never heard of it.
I'd never
Yeah.
heard of it my entire life, but because of an amazing listener, we now have more things to look up on the internet and get obsessed with.
Yeah.
But isn't that what it's about?
That's
Researching, coming up with your own theories, and but also enjoying it. And I enjoy the show with you guys. And happy holidays! I can't wait till next year. Looking forward to the new year. Some more awesome stuff.
It's going to be a good year.
Yep.
It's gonna be a great year.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, there's some expos I think would be great if we could go to. Yeah, I won't mention them again. That's that asterisk. In case it doesn't happen,
it doesn't happen.
you can't blame us.
Some that we'll try to get to, some that
Yeah.
we'll try to avoid, but they'll be coming up.
Thank you so much, everybody, for listening. Thank you for participating. Thank you for being part of the show with your topic ideas. Lish, tell the listeners what you think.
Don't follow the Min lights because they'll lead you to your death. Don't do
Okay.
it.
All right. I thought you were going to have like some positive, happy,
exactly. Don't get uplifting.
a New Year's resolution. But you're like,
but
nope.
don't die, everybody.
Happy holidays.
There you go.
Does that work?
Yes.
That's what's up.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Yeah.
Keep those ideas coming. And what you in your specific area, if you have anything strange that's coming out, tell us about it.
Right.
We'll do some digging, and as you can tell, we'll do another deep dive into that subject.
Big D.
Thanks everyone for listening, and just remember 2019 is evenly divisible by 3.
Oh, it's back to the pyramids.
Oh, triangles!
Dave will try to make it to most episodes next year.
At least a third.
Unless he gets kidnapped.
He's sticking with the threes.
This is awesome. Love you guys. Be safe. Have a great time out there. And remember, if it's not weird,
It's not worth checking out.